Hello again, and welcome back to Illegally Cited. This is Jesse, and I am back for another iOS accessible game spotlight video. This time we're taking a look at a game that I've had buried on my phone for quite some time. I don't remember when it came out, but I saw it. I'm like, I should do a quick video for this. Um, we are looking at a cool little game called Dungeons and Decisions RPG. And it's basically another one of those sort of kind of choose your own adventure style things where there's not really a lot of gameplay to it, but if you're at the end of a day or whatever, you just want to play something relaxing, something a little bit more story focused. This is a game that is VoiceOver accessible. So I believe it is free. There are some in-app purchases. There's a $5 purchase where it unlocks another set of stories and it also gets rid of ads. And then there's a $20 premium purchase that you can make that unlocks more content. So it just depends on how deeply you get into these types of games. And I did go in for the ad-free, did the disable ads purchase, just because again, supporting a developer that actually makes their content, their game, their app more accessible, and just to support them. And of course, ads are annoying, so why not get rid of those? So on your main screen here, we've got a few tabs across the bottom.
Tab bar selected. Dungeons and Decisions RPG. Tab 1 of 3.
There's your main kind of where you choose your quests.
All achievements. Tab 2 of 3.
And then you got your achievements there.
Game menu. Tab 3 of 3.
Let's go to
selected.
our game menu real quick so you can see what's here.
Gain more coins and luck. Ellipsis button.
So gain more coins and luck. I don't really know what the whole mechanics are behind that because I literally just started exploring this a few minutes ago, and I figured rather than start a story within the middle of it somewhere, we'll just start one or two of these stories just to get a glimpse of what the interface is like, what the stories are like.
Purchase premium button.
So there's your premium. That's your $20 one.
Remove ads button.
Remove ads. So I did that.
Restore purchases button.
Restore purchases. Again, if you've purchased, you can restore on a new device.
Ring city map button. Sync across devices. This will keep all story progress and scores synced across all of your iOS devices. Button.
So that's good. You can turn that on or off. I don't really know why you would. Well, I mean, I guess there's times you'd want to turn that off if you had someone else playing on a different device than you, but
sync across devices. This will keep game sound effects button.
So game sound effects, I can turn those game on or off. Now I do have the game muted.
Show already found achievements. Some people like to see where all the achievements are hiding. Some don't. Ellipsis. Which kind of person are you? Button.
Okay.
Show already found achievements. About. Button. Facebook. Button. Contact us. Tab bar. Done. All achievements.
And
tab.
So it's really not too much there. I mean, I guess I could go under my
control center. Mute. Switch
mute.
Button. On.
Okay. I wasn't sure if we had music in here or not. I typically run with my device muted.
Purchase premium.
If there's a game that really has sound effects, I'll play with that. But, I just generally use my device muted these days. So let's go back to our main tab. It's a very straightforward app.
Tab 1 of 3. Wizards Show Dungeons and Decisions RPG. Available series. Heading.
So there you get your available series. And you can play a variety of different story paths.
Wizard's Choice. You play a wizard in this interactive novel set in a medieval fantasy world. Stay alive, manage your spell power, find treasure, and smite evil. Wizard's Choice is a series of RPG interactive novels that will engross you in a story while allowing you to make the decisions that will determine your fate. Button.
Okay.
Demon's Choice. You're Azizala, binder of souls, and you have just escaped the abyss. Now, a free demon, you seek to outwit the fiends that hunt you as you plot your own rise to ultimate power.
That sounds fun.
Rogue's Choice. You play a rogue in this choice-driven text adventure set in a medieval fantasy world. With debts to pay to the underworld, you need to make a lot of coin fast. Perhaps worse, you're wanted by the king's men for desertion. Survival is your first priority. Ranger's Choice. Under orders by the Storm Throne, you have been assigned to escort and protect the caravan through the wilderness. You expect dangers along the road, but you soon find out the real peril is from within your own party. Premium exclusives. Head. Paladins. The story is set in the rich world of Desril created by author David Dalglish. You play several different characters including a paladin of Asher, a wolfman pack leader, a scrappy farmer, and more. Button.
So that's the one, yes, you do have to pay your premium price. But again, I don't know how long these other stories are, but if you're paying for something that is written by, who is the author?
Paladins. The story is set in the rich world of Desril created by author David Dalglish. You play several different characters including...
Yeah, I'm not quite sure how to say that last name, but depending on how the voiceover says it there, but...
Legends. The story is set in the rich world of Coralea created by author R. Malak. You play several different characters including a
So maybe those authors mean something to you. I don't recognize them right off the top of my head, But that's cool. So we got 2 premium packs and then a whole bunch of ones. So let's just go into one. I think we're going to try the Demon's Choice.
Your Zizala, binder of
Yeah,
coins,
we're feeling
0.
we're going to play a bad guy today.
Your Zizala, binder of souls, and you have just escaped the abyss. Now, a free demon, you seek to outwit the fiends that hunt you as you plot your own rise to ultimate power. Demon's Choice, heading.
Okay.
Demon's Choice prequel, unlock cost, 20, button. Demon's Choice 1, button.
Oh, okay. So...
Demon's Choice 2, unlock cost, 20, button.
Oh, I wonder where does it show me how many coins I have?
Coins, 0, heading.
Oh, okay. Well, there you go. At the top of the screen, shows your coins.
Dungeons and Decisions RPG, back button.
Okay.
Dungeons and Decisions RPG, coins, 0.
So, looks like on this one we have to play. Okay, so we get coins, I guess, for playing the games, I guess.
Demon's Choice prequel, unlock cost, Demon's Choice 1, button.
Well, let's start with Demon's Choice 1.
All you need to know, AirPlay video, Eagle Fang. Double tap to open app. Scroll, red, and make choices. That's it. Your progress is automatically bookmarked. Double tap the screen to show / hide the menu. Okay, button.
Sounds fair.
Dungeons and Decisions RPG, back button. Boost your stats, button. Show achievements, button. Change text size and color, button.
So when you're in a game here, I like this because I can change my text size and you can also change your color. So I switch it to a dark theme, much easier on my eyes. And so if you wanted to play more, have both visual and voiceover feedback, you could.
Show game menu, button.
Show game menu.
Go back to previous choices. Show game menu, button.
Let's bring this up just to see.
More coins and luck. Ellipsis, remove ads, button.
Oh, okay, that's just the same thing. Okay.
Dungeon, change text size and color. Dungeons and Decisions RPG, back button.
No. Come on.
Boost your stats. Show achievements. Change text size and color. Show game. Go back to previous choices, button. Back button. We all make mistakes. Here's your chance to make things right. Go back to previous choices by selecting an item. Start over. Dimmed.
Whatever.
Start over. Dimmed. Back button.
Okay.
Dungeons and Decisions RPG. Demon's Choice 1. Demon's Choice 1. Button. Demon's Choice. Alert. All you need to know. Scroll, red, and make choices. That's it. Your progress is automatically bookmarked. Double tap the screen to show / hide the menu. Okay, button. Life, summary.
Okay, so for some reason it was not, because when I looked at one of these before, it just popped me into the game, but it was still like, it wouldn't hide the menu, and if I double tap one of the other things, it would open the menu. So you just go in and out if it doesn't focus on the book itself.
Content.
All right, so
Sam Landstrom. Demon's Choice, Chapter 1. By Sam Landstrom. Summary. You play as Zizala, a succubus in a medieval fantasy world. This is a spin-off of Wizard's Choice. However, it is unnecessary for you to have read Wizard's Choice before reading this.
Okay.
Content warning. Violence and mild sexual innuendo.
Yeah.
Begin. Button.
Okay.
Begin. Life, 13. Morale, 0. Mana, 10. Dimmed. Game
Okay,
stats.
so we do have some rudimentary stats here.
Image. White text on a black background in a black frame. Chapter, fiendishly free.
So I'm guessing that's VoiceOver that chipped in and gave you the description. It would be nice if they actually had alt text for that, because it doesn't seem like they do.
Demon's Choice, Head, Chapter 1. By Sam Landstrom. I have never had a real conversation with a succubus, says the dragon striding alongside you. Rather pleasant for a demon. This dragon has been talking to you for what seems like a century, yet it has only been a few minutes. It took all your will to not flee when he first materialized next to you. Here on the Infinite Stairway, violence is strictly prohibited, so you should be safe. Of course, you must not disrespect your kind and show fear to any creature, not even the dragon. You stop climbing the stairway, prompting the dragon to stop as well. You turn and force yourself to look him in his green, reptilian eyes. Unlike most demons, my kind know how to conduct ourselves in a conversation, you say, faking a casual smile. I might add that our hygiene is far superior to other so-called fiends. In fact, my sisters and I do not prefer being lumped in with other demons at all. The dragon turns to you and blinks his large scaly eyelids. What should I call you? Succubus is sufficient, or succubi if you wish to address us as a group, you say. I have never seen more than one succubi on the stairway at a time, says the dragon. You nod as you resume climbing the steps. We often prefer to work alone. Truth be told, we hate competition. Oh, says the dragon. My, that must be lonely. I understand loneliness. He again turns his large head toward you and stares. Clearly, he is not watching where he is going, yet he never stumbles a step on the stairway. Hells, stop staring at me for no reason, you think. You can scarcely imagine anything more dangerous. Fortunately, this dragon is not very large, at least not compared to the few dragons you have seen. This one is only a few times larger than yourself. Although your body is that of a tall human woman, you are still rather small by the standards of the abyss from which you escaped. This dragon is either very young or of some exotic species. On that thought, you realize that he doesn't smell like any dragon you have met. Indeed, he does not have any scent at all.
Okay. So all I'm doing is flicking through each paragraph one at a time. Now I could do my two-finger flick down, which I probably will do on the next screen, but I will just see how long this is before we get a choice.
You return his stare for a moment, try to smile, and then turn away. Ridiculous, you think. You have been wandering the infinite stairway and in between dimensions for days, or what seems like days. You cannot tell time here. Just your luck that the first creature you meet would be a dragon, and a strange one, at that. The beast starts off chatty, going on about how long it has been since he has spoken to anyone, and now he has started into this staring business. No wonder no one will talk to him. I should gouge his eyes and rip out his throat, you think. The green scales that cover the monster appear thick, too thick even for your iron fingernails. The eyes? Maybe. However, it would require you to get too close to those long, sharp teeth. You struggle to push down your anger. You would be punished most severely for committing an act of violence on the infinite stairway anyway. That is, if you survived, which is unlikely. You consider your options. You could try a bit of flirtation. As a succubus, eliciting desire from others is one of your most powerful tools. Another option would be to make a joke, perhaps something about not being a virgin and therefore not appropriate food for a dragon. You could ask what you want to ask, which is why he doesn't smell like a dragon. Would that be rude? What do you say?
Okay, here's our first choice.
Flirt, button. Make a joke, button. Ask why he does not smell like a dragon, button. Make a joke, button. Make a joke.
And now we'll just
Life,
do a
13. Morale, life, 13. Morale,
we'll just
1.
do a two-finger
Mana,
flick
10.
down and
Dim.
see here.
Morale increases 1. You halt on the stairway and turn to him. I see you staring at me as though I am your next meal. You say, I assure you, I am no virgin. You smile. The dragon's mouth drops open, allowing you to fully appreciate the row of dagger teeth. What a strange thing to say. He blinks at you. What does your virginity have to do with the nourishment I might get from your meat? That was actually going to be my next question. You say, why do dragons eat virgins to begin with? In one giant leap, the dragon now stands several meters higher on the stairway. He leans back, as though providing himself yet more distance between you and him. It is said that your kind is always near madness. An eternity in the abyss can break any soul. I am not insane, you say. Certainly as a dragon yourself, this is not the first time you have heard stories of your kind eating virgins. The dragon pauses, blinks, and then begins to laugh. It's a terrible screeching sort of laugh. You cover your head. After you are nearly ready to collapse from this unusual torture, he recovers and regards you. Delightful, he says. It is said that the succubus is a charming creature. We have a sense of humor, yes, you say, tilting your head flirtatiously. Such is necessary for a woman in the abyss. Fascinating that I appear to you as a dragon, he says. There are such worse things in the multiverse, so very much worse. Not a dragon? What are you then? You ask. The creature looks down the stairway to stand across from you. Continue, button.
Okay, no choice there.
Continue. Life, what am I? What am I? He raises his head, staring up through the infinitely winding stairway above, without ceiling or sky. I cannot say. Better to ask what I do. I am a pophedron for the infinite stairway. A pophedron? You ask. Yes. It means something like sentinel in the old tongue, the first language of the gods. He says. Ah yes. You say. You are the one who ensures we do not break the rules here? Yes. The gods have tasked me with this, he says. It is not just me. There are many of us. Countless. Wait, you are one of the unseen? You say. That is what some travelers call us. Yes, he says, his voice tipping. It is not our proper name. It is the name given because you are supposed to be invisible, yet here you are, and why are you a dragon? You say. That is a question for yourself, he says. I appear differently into different creatures. Obviously, you fear dragons the most. Everything does. Every creature with any sense, at least, you say. Yet in the abyss, where you are from, there are things much more dangerous than dragons, he says. I have seen them. Memories are hazy for you and you cannot say when your fear of dragons started. Probably outside the abyss. What do you say to this thing? Are you here to frighten me, then? Button. What have you seen that is so terrible? Button. You should write a book of beasts. Button. My, what an important job you have. Button.
What do I want to say?
Are you here to frighten me, then? Button. What have you seen that is so terrible? You should write a book of beasts. Button. My, what an important job you have. Button.
Kind of be a kiss ass.
My, what an important job. Life, 13. Morale, a little flattery has always served you, particularly when it is on the subject of conversation. My, what an important job you have, you say, smiling large and clasping your hands together in adoration. I suppose it is, he says. He blinks at you. Are you trying to charm me with your feminine wiles? It depends, you say with a coy smile. Is it working? Of course not, he says. I am a pophedron. You almost give him a pouty smile, but quickly realize there is no point. Instead, you take a deep breath, hoping not to let anger get the best of you. What is your name, succubus? He asks. Continue, button. Continue, button. Continue.
Okay, we'll go a little bit longer.
But I have had many names, most of which I no longer care to remember. You say, your name? Once an angel of the celestial plane called me Drafrix. It is the celestial word for nightmare. Sometimes I use that name. You smile with actual pleasure. Even the angels are afraid of something. Tell me, Drafrix, what form did you take to the angel? I do not know, says Drafrix. I cannot see myself, not even in a reflection. I was unable to ask the angel because he only shouted Drafrix and then fled. Pity, you think. It would be a worthy thing to know what an angel feared the most. That is why any conversation I have is many steps apart, says Drafrix. Travelers run, shout, or scream. Now, I mostly remain unseen, invisible, observing. Waiting to punish those who break the rules, you say. I know of only one rule on the infinite stairway, do not harm another. Perhaps, that is a rule, says Drafrix. There might be others. What others? You ask. You will know if you break one, he says. What is the point of rules unless they are made plain? You say, he stares at you, still
Fair
climbing, and
question.
blinking slowly, stupidly. Well, you say as you stop climbing. You imagine this creature's blood splashing across the steps. What? Why do you not make your rules plain? You say, do you even know the rules you enforce? I know the rules, but I am not to tell. Why it does not matter, he says. This is your eternal duty. How can you not care why you do what you do? You say, I do not think about this, he says. What do you think about then? You say, your blood rising in your voice. I think about travelers like you. I learn of your weaknesses and strengths in case you resist punishment, he says. I think about the stairway and the steps. What else is there? Well, you can tell me the rules. You say, what is the harm? He shakes his head, stares, and blinks. I will tell you my weaknesses to help you better handle the next rule-breaking succubus you find. In exchange, you tell me the rules. You say, I know what your weaknesses are. Succubi are not as strong as most demons, preferring to rely on cunning, trickery, and charm, he says. You, in particular, are afraid of dragons. I wonder if other demons are afraid of them? There he is calling you a demon again. The simpleton is making you angry. What do you think is behind his obstinacy? His mind is enslaved. Button. He is baiting you to attack. Button.
Okay.
His mind is enslaved. Button. He is baiting you to attack. Button.
So, it's interesting that it's like the choices are kind of different as far as, oh, he's baiting me to attack, or he's kind of like basing it on thought, not just like, what do you do next? Do you attack him? Do you ask? Like there was some of that in the previous decision. Um, um, I'm just curious. I mean, I don't think this means I have to attack
He is
him.
baiting you to attack. Button. He is baiting you to attack. Life, 13. He is baiting me. He is baiting me. You think. Wishes for me to attack and then he can punish me. You grit your teeth as rage washes up. I cannot let him win. You think. Although he insults your intelligence with his feeble scheme, you may still find a use for him. You take another deep breath and do your best to clear your mind. Continue. Button.
Okay.
Continue.
So let's see what
Life,
happens
13.
here.
To
I
know the
don't know
rules
how
is
the
to
I don't know. I'm guessing the combat, like it just will kind of give you a uh, it'll give you a little bit of the battle, and then you make a choice, and then like, do you run? Do you block? Do you use a spell? But we'll see.
To know the rules is to know how to bend them. You say, what? Says Drafrix. I suspect that is the reason the gods do not reveal all the rules to travelers. You say, Drafrix doesn't say anything, but he tilts his head up to the ceiling as though communing with the divine. He does not break his stride. You said that your conversations were steps apart. What did you mean by that? You ask. I count steps and doors, he says. Why? You ask. To measure time. Travelers have told me of worlds where there's time. Some worlds have light and dark, tremors in the ground at certain intervals, or red orb that moves high above them. Changes that tell them about time. There is none of that here, you say. How many steps have you counted? 303,600,334,252.34. I
Oh,
understand.
jeez.
You say, cutting him off before he gets to 5. Of course I did not start counting from the beginning, and I do not count while I am punishing. Thus it is not a full tally of my time here, he says. The counting is enjoyable and allows me to tell how long it has been between punishments. Deemer A's whole. It would be too much of a mercy to slay this thing, you think. What have you learned about the stairway with all this counting? You ask. He is silent for so long that you're about to ask the question again when he speaks, that it takes somewhere near 163,000 steps between one punishment and the next. That is all you have learned? You ask. Sometimes more between punishments, sometimes less. Anyway, it is something to do. It passes time, he says. You take a deep breath as you struggle to not call him an idiot. Instead, you say, you said you knew my weaknesses. If I broke a rule and resisted punishment, how would you defeat me? I know how to defeat a demon, and you are weaker than most, says Drafrix, a useless answer. And does he mean I am weaker because I am a succubus or because I have been diminished by the loss of my mistress? Do not call me a demon, you hiss. What do you look like normally? He blinks at you. I look like a traveler's worst fear. I told you that. What do you look like when you are not taking the form of a traveler? You say, trying not to let irritation seep into your voice. Like you, I can change the way I appear, however, I normally look like this. You motion over your body as you spread your bat wings. What is your native form? Like the last traveler I appeared before, he says. If I have a native form, I have forgotten it billions of steps ago. Does he have a real body at all, or is he only a projection of the gods? You wonder. One way to test this would be to try to possess him. Probably against the rules and would lead to a quick end for me, you think. Where are you going? Asks Drafrix. I do not know, you say. Somewhere better than here. How do you not know? Says Drafrix. Certainly, you are on a quest on behalf of your master. A demon cannot simply run loose. They can if their master is destroyed, you think. Your mistress, Neril, is gone. Vengeance taken upon her by the millions of souls she had crushed and absorbed over the centuries. Now your home layer of the abyss is in chaos. Well, more chaos than the usual. On the plus side, the chaos did offer you your opportunity to escape your abyssal prison and its servitude. You consider whether you should answer Drafrix's question. There are plenty of demons who would like to know your whereabouts, some to re-enslave you and others to exact revenge. You could lie and say you are on a quest to capture new souls for your mistress and you don't know where you are going because you were not told where to hunt. On the other hand, do you want to risk lying to this creature? Finally, you could just shrug and try to dodge the question. What do you do? Tell the truth. Button. Lie. Button. Dodge the question. Button.
Okay. Well, tell you what, let's make one final decision here, and we might pop into the first screen of one more game, but it's very straightforward. I mean, there's not a lot to say. Just wanted to show you the overall interface. show you maybe a start of one or two stories just so you can see. But if you're into interactive fiction, that type of thing, this is another app that has done that. I believe I've covered at least one or two other apps that have had sort of like your choose your own adventure, interactive fiction type of games slash apps. Let's go ahead and tell the truth here.
What? Tell the truth button.
Okay,
Reward.
so
Honest for redeeming. Points 1 coins. 1 times 2 bonus equals 2 total. Luck. 0 times 2 bonus equals 0 total. The last thing you want to be is predictable, right?
okay.
Reward. Reward. Honest for redeeming. Points 1 coins. 1 times
Okay, you just double
life
tap to
13.
get rid of it.
Morale 2. Mana
There was
10.
no
Dim.
close or anything.
Game stats.
All right.
Morale increases 1. Morale increases 1. He is only one unseen of many. He is only one unseen of many on an infinite stairway. What difference does it make if he knows the truth? He may even be able to offer some insight. My mistress was Neril, you say. She was destroyed and that gave me an opportunity to escape the abyss. I took it. The goddess, Neril, asks Drafrix, his eyes wide. The same, you say. Then you are a demon on the loose, he says. That must please you. It does, you say. Yet it is also dangerous. Without protection, without guidance, I am afraid I will stumble through one of these doors into a terrible world. I wish to find a world where I can thrive. You pause, looking at Drafrix, expectantly. He stares back and then blinks. A world that has at least some civilization would be my preference, you say. A human world would be nice. I was human once. That makes sense, he says as he continues to stare. He is not taking the bait. You think, perhaps you could help me? You say. Certainly, you know of a world I could go to. It is forbidden for me to aid a traveler, says Drafrix. You offer him a strange smile. Continue, button.
Okay.
Continue, button. Continue. You and Drafrix continue up the stairs for some time, with Drafrix blathering about different monsters he has had to punish lately, a hot-headed centaur, a wild hydra that had somehow gotten loose on the stairway, and several trolls. You are not surprised by the trolls. Trolls are not quite as stupid as many think, yet they have little impulse control. Perhaps a few hundred steps have passed, when you come to a door. This one is made of iron and it is large enough for a giant to walk through. Etched into the surface are runes, made of spirals interspersed with straight lines. You know how to read a number of languages, but you do not know these runes. Maybe you do know it and you have only just forgotten. It is hard to say with your foggy memory. Memory loss is common when moving from one dimension to another, particularly the way you escaped the abyss without preparation or permission. What does that say? You ask Drafrix. It is forbidden for me to aid a traveler, he says. What does it matter? You say more testily than you intended. Everyone knows that lies are often written on doors of the infinite stairway. A promise of paradise may just as easily lead to a hell. Drafrix says nothing. What a useless miscreant. You think, although you mistrust what's written on doors of the infinite stairway, you would still like to at least know what it says. Even lies can hold value if you approach them carefully. You scoff at Drafrix as you arch an eyebrow. I doubt you can read this at all. Writing is difficult for me, but I can read most of this, he says. Over the billions of steps, I have listened to travelers read the words for symbols out loud to themselves or to their companions. If I can get him to slip once, you think, oh really? You say as you walk up to the door. Do you expect me to believe that you have learned this language? A language I have never seen in all my centuries, just by eavesdropping on travelers? Impossible. You point to a squiggle. What does that one rune mean? I cannot aid or hinder a traveler, only punish when a rule is broken, he says. Ah, but all glory belongs to the bold, does it not? You say with a smile. You take slow steps toward him, letting your hips sway. I am not asking for aid, I am merely asking for conversation. I merely want to enjoy intercourse with you. Attempting to seduce this obtuse, ever-blinking non-dragon is low
What
for
in
you.
the... Okay, that
Not the
just took
lowest,
a weird
of course,
left turn.
far from it, but still low. Nevertheless, you are getting desperate. Leaving the abyss has made you weak, nearly human. You have even begun to suffer trivialities of your nearly forgotten human past, thirst and what might be hunger. You need to find the door to a world that will not destroy you outright. Indeed, a world where you can thrive. This choice is not to be taken hastily, yet, you cannot dally here forever. I am enjoying our intercourse, but I cannot tell you anything about the doors, says Drafrix, blinking his reptilian eyes. It is forbidden. I am a sentinel, not a guide. Where can I find a guide? I cannot answer that question, he says. Continue, button.
I mean, it doesn't look like we're going to get into combat or anything like that anytime soon, but it is straightforward. Let's go up to the top
Boost your
here
stats,
again.
button. Show achievements, button. Boost your stats, button.
So boost your stats. What does this do?
Boost stat, luck, 0. Spendable, 3. Decrement, button. Increment, button. Life, 13. Decrement, increment, mana, 10.
Okay, so I've gotten...
Luck, 0. Life, 13. Decrement, spendable, 3.
Okay, I have... So what I'm going to do...
Increment, button. Life, 13. Increment, button.
So your increment, decrement, those are on the left of each thing. So you want to go to the... Basically the plus and minus to the left or before. So I'm going to...
Alert, you're out of luck.
What?
You're out of luck at the moment. You get more by unlocking achievements or going to the store. No thanks, button. Get lucky, button. No thanks, button.
Oh, well that's okay. That's weird because
but not luck, 0, luck, 0.
So luck, that's my points.
Spendable, 3.
I thought that spendable meant that I had 3 that I could spend. That's a little misleading to me. Okay, so there is a slight bit of
Continue.
decision, like, other than the main choices that you make throughout the story, there are some light RPG stats that you can play around with. So, if you want to get more lucky, if you want to, you know, get more healthy, I'm not sure how much of a difference that'll make and how quickly you'll be able to level up in these different types of things. But yeah, that is an example. So that is the demon one. We can pop into,
Dungeons
let's
and
go
decisions
ahead
are
and go back because it'll
Demon's
remember
Choice
where I
1
left
button.
off. At least it says it will.
Coins.
So let's go
Dungeons and
ahead and go
Decisions RPG.
back.
Demon's Choice. Yours. Wizard's Choice. You play a wizard in this
Let's just
interactive
pop into
Coins. 2.
Wizard's Choice here.
Demon's Choice prequel. Demon's Choice 1 button.
Wait, no.
Dungeons and Decisions RPG.
I went to Wizard's Choice,
Demon's
you
Choice.
butt.
Yours is a Wizard's Choice. You play a wizard in the Wizard's Choice. You play a wizard. Coins. 2. Wizard's Choice 1 button. Wizard's Choice. Head. Wizard's Choice 1 button.
Okay, we'll go in there.
Wizard's Choice 1 dimmed. Game stats. Image.
Yeah, so that one, yeah, they don't have any descriptions for the image. It's just so happened that VoiceOver described the last one because it had the chapter on it.
Wizard's Choice 1 by Sam Landstrom. Summary: you play the part of the wizard in a medieval fantasy world. This is the first part of an epic series. Content warning.
So
And
yeah,
dark themes.
so you're supposed to play this one, although you don't. They said that you didn't have to in the Demon's Choice one. If you play these in order, I guess they maybe it kind of fills out the universe a bit more.
Begin button.
All right, so we'll begin.
Life,
And I'll just
12,
do a screen
meta,
or two
image.
here.
And you are a young wizard seeking treasure and glory. You are walking along a path in the forest one day's journey from Wind City, your beloved home. Night has just fallen and you're thinking about how it might be a good idea to find a campsite. After all, you're in goblin territory, and it's dangerous to travel in the dark. Suddenly, you smell something awful. Reginald, are you responsible for that outrageous smell? You ask a warrior striding ahead of you. Pray, no, I am always down from my companions when I squeeze the bellows. Reginald answers. You realize that you have never encountered this stench before, and it is close, ellipsis, and perhaps it's your imagination, but is that muffled breathing you just heard? What
Squeeze the bellows.
Shout
That's a
warning to
good
Reginald,
one.
button. Die flat on your face. Button. Hide. Button.
I'll have
Stop
to
and listen,
use that.
button.
I gotta squeeze the bellows. That's pretty good.
Shout warning to Reginald. Button. Die flat on your face. Button. Hide. Button. Stop and listen. Button.
Okay, so this one's a little bit more action-y. Well, they've heard us talk. I'm not going to shout and give away our position any further. Let's,
Hide. Button. Die flat on your face. Button.
let's hide.
Hide. Button.
Okay.
Reward. Reward. Sneaky. Points. 1. Coins. 1 times 2 bonus equals 2 total. Luck. 0 times 2 bonus equals 0 total. Nasty. Trixie. Player/reader. Creator.
If you say so.
Life,
Okay, I got
12.
some gold, I
Mana,
guess.
12. Mana decreases 2. Mana decreases 2.
Oh.
Morale increases 2. When in doubt, hiding is a fine strategy. And the forest offers plenty of cover. You motion to Reginald as you creep off the trail. Now inside the brush, you can see glowing eyes staring at you from behind a tree several paces away. You hear a snort as several green-skinned goblins charge out of hiding toward you. With an arcane word and a flourish of one hand, you fire a bolt of flame at the leader of the charge. Image, your bolt strikes the goblin, engulfing it in flames. It drops to the ground, thrashing. Reginald hacks down another with his sword. The remaining 3 run away, whooping and youping. Their cries are joined by others from the dark forest all around you. Many calls from far too many goblins to fight toe-to-toe. It's a hunting party, probably tracking wild game. We humans are a delicacy, much better than mutton. Reginald says. You regard the 2 dead goblins on the ground. Dead goblins are worth 10 gold pieces per head in the city. Luckily, you don't need to carry their heads around. The city authorities will accept their left ears. What do? Cut the ears off. Button. Just run. Button. Cut the ears off. Button.
Cut them.
Cut the ears off. Life, 12. Mana, gold increases 10. Gold increases 10. Get the ears. Get the ears. You exclaim as you pull out your razor-sharp dagger from your belt. For a second, your sometimes slow-witted warrior sidekick doesn't understand, but as you start sawing away at the first ear, he gets the idea and fishes out his own dagger. Soon you have a bloody goblin ear stuffed in your pocket, and Reginald has one of his own. Nasty? Very. However, 10 gold pieces are nearly 6 months of wages to a common laborer, so you're willing to take the hit. What now? Reginald asks. Certainly there are excellent places to hide in the forest. If we can just make it until morning, ellipsis. True, however, the goblins may have dogs, and their own sense of smell is keen. You say, we might climb a tree, then, that would at least be defensible. Reginald suggests. You wish to be treated like a fox with goblins barking underneath? If you wish a position that is both defensible and allows some freedom of movement, we should hasten to the castle Inverness. It is near, and we could fortify ourselves behind those walls. Reginald says. You frown. It is a fortress, yes, but inhabited by what? Gods know what manner of creatures may have taken up residence in that ruin over the years. Hide in the forest. Button. Garrison in the ruin walls. Button. Climb a large tree. Button.
Okay.
Hide in the forest. Button. Garrison in the ruin walls. Button.
Well, let's go with our buddy.
Garrison in the ruin walls. Life, 12. Mana, 12. Gold,
That way we'll
10.
make him
Morale,
happy,
let us take refuge behind the
and
stone walls of Castle
hopefully
Inverness, you say. Goblin hunting calls echo from all around in the forest as the two of you dash up the path 100 meters or so, where you find a fork in the road. The path to the right appears to be seldom used since it is nearly overgrown. The path to the left is clear, and you think you see firelight down that way. Could this fire belong to the goblins? Or, if you're lucky, is it the campfire of another friendly adventuring party?
Oh boy, okay.
What do you do? Castle. Never question a wizard. Button. Investigate fire. Button.
Oh. That's mean. Shiny object.
Investigate fire. Reward. I'm an adventurer. Damn it. Points. 1 coins. 1 times 2 bonus equals 2 total. Luck. 1 times 2 bonus equals 2 total. Boldly, you step forth. Never a wuss.
Okay. All right, cool.
So, it turns out the fire does belong to goblins. What did you expect? You're in goblin country, after all. You've come up to
I
the clearing
figured
with
as
two goblins
much.
cooking mutton over a fire. Apparently, these guys are keener on guarding their next meal than joining the rest of the hunting party. Image. What do you do? Leave them to their meal. Button. Attempts to slay them. Button.
Ooh. You know, let's go out in a blaze of glory, man. If we're going to wrap up this video, we're going to go out in a blaze of glory or be victorious.
Attempts to slay them. Button. Attempts to slay them. Life. 12. Reginald readies his bow and notches an arrow. Your companion is a good shot and will likely slay one of them outright. However, then your surprise will be lost. You could ready a firebolt spell to strike the other goblin, or you could save your power and simply charge forward with your dagger when Reginald fires his arrow.
Ah, okay. Actually, I'm glad I went into this because now you're getting to see a little bit of. So yeah, it is kind of combat. Something you get in, like a D&D story-based type of spiel.
What do you do? Prepare to use your flame bolt. Manitou. Button.
I don't know how easy it is to recharge mana. I wish I knew how. See, if I was playing this with a dungeon master, I would ask how many goblins are there? Are there just 2, or are there more? And they're just telling me some of the information. And I would ask, hey, do I have to recharge my mana once a day? Are there potions I can get, or do I have them? So there's a lot of information I don't need, or that I don't have.
Prepare to charge. Button.
So let's go ahead and we're going to save our fireball.
Prepare to charge. Life. 12. Mana.
Let's
12.
see what we
Morale
do.
increases 1. Slow and quiet. You pull your morale increases 1. Slow and quiet. Slow and quiet. You pull your dagger from its sheath and tense your muscles, readying yourself to spring into action. As soon as you hear the thrum of Reginald's bowstring, you launch yourself forward, smashing through the brush. Reginald's arrow pierces into the chest of one of the goblins. It drops to the ground, no doubt mortally wounded. With only moonlight and the firelight ahead to guide you, you stumble on a root, but keep your feet. Now you're out in the clearing. The surviving goblin is shouting as it sprints away. An arrow whistles between you and the goblin. What do you hope come from Reginald? Between your element of surprise and the goblin's short legs, you manage to run the goblin down and bury your dagger into its back. It screams again as you finish it off. The ears, shouts Reginald as he sprints into the clearing, his dagger drawn. Cries and jets erupt from several directions in the forest. Obviously, the cries of the goblin had been heard. Continue. Button.
Yeah, we kind of made him mad. I figured that would happen.
Continue. Button. Continue. The two of you cut off the goblin ears for the bounty. In the meantime, the cries of the goblins are drawing nearer. You do not dare to dally here any longer. You run back to the fork in the road and head toward the castle. On the way, you hear a whistle in your ear, then another, and then feel a sting just above your hip.
Ooh, that can't be good.
Obviously, they have bows. The wound isn't bad. It's a small arrow, shot by a weakling, no doubt. You pull it out without losing stride. Continue. Button.
All right, so I lost a little bit of health, probably.
Life 11. Mana
Yep.
12. Gold. After a minute of stumbling down what is best described as a game trail, you see the shadowy husk of the ruin in the moonlight ahead. Unfortunately, the battle cries of your pursuers are closer than ever, and when you look back over your shoulder, you see glowing eyes. The two of you turn on a burst of speed, and soon the outer wall of the castle looms before you. It is about 10 feet high and crumbling. You realize with horror that there are no holes on this side that are large enough to fit through. Meanwhile, Reginald, a faster runner than yourself, has disappeared around the north corner of the wall. A short spear whistles past your head. You look back and see at least 4 of the little beasts. Image. What do you do? Follow Reginald. Button. Jump the wall spell. Man 1. Button. Turn and blast them. Man 4. Button.
I want to keep my buddy because he saved my bacon already a time or two. So, I mean, if I jump the wall, I don't know that he's going to be able to get in. So I think we'll try to back each other up.
Follow Reginald. Button. Follow Reginald. Life 9.
And I should mention, every once in a while, you don't really notice, but visually there are little pictures, a little artwork in the middle of the story. So yeah, it is kind of a shame that those aren't described so that voiceover users would be able to kind of get Because they are kind of neat. They are neat artwork. I do like them. So let's see what happens here, and then we'll wrap it up.
You turn north to follow Region Old. You've almost reached the corner when an arrow stabs into your shoulder. When you round the corner, you don't see your friend, but there is a section of partially crumbled wall that you think you can climb swiftly. Another arrow whistles by before you're able to roll over the top of the battlement and onto the rotten wooden floorboards on the other side. In a few seconds, there are several goblins at the base of the wall, chattering angrily. The largest of them begins climbing up the rotten rock and another starts climbing after the leader. You decide this is a good place to take a stand. There is a lot of loose rock at the top of the wall. You are not particularly strong, thanks to your inactive life as a wizard. However, you expect you could push a few large rocks down upon this climber. On the other hand, they are all out in the open, and your combat spells would certainly be effective now. Image, what do? Push rocks down on the lead climber, button. Just fry the lead climber. 2 mana, button. Fry them all. 4 mana, button.
Fry them all,
Fry
baby.
them all. 4 mana.
Let's do it.
Reward, crushing move. Points, 2 coins. 2 times 2 bonus equals 4 total. Luck, 1 times 2 bonus equals 2 total. You dominated.
Heck yeah.
Morale increases too. You lean down and call forth the magical power within you. From your outstretched fingers erupts a jet of flame that you play first over the climbers and then over the others standing below. They barely have time to scream before there are no more than 4 smoldering corpses on the ground below. A fine mess you made of them. Region Old's voice startles you. He now stands beside you, grinning down on the carnage. He must have found another way in. I loathe goblins, you say, as do all good men. You have struck terror into their advance party, but they will call for reinforcements. We have the wall. Can we hold it? Region Old asks. We could go in. You point to the castle keep beyond the courtyard. The castle is 3 stories tall, or at least it had been before the top layer partially collapsed. The second story is barely any better. The fortress is as lifeless and still as a painting. Nevertheless, you wonder if anyone is looking back at you from the dark windows and arrow slits of the ruin. What do you suggest? Prepare wall defense, button. Enter the castle now, button.
And that, my friends, is where we are going to leave. But what I will say is that this story I can kind of identify with a little bit more. Like, I thought the demon story, okay, you play the succubus or whatever, and it was interesting in a way. I'm sort of intrigued. But this one, it kind of jumps you right into, like, hey, we're in the middle of a situation here. We might get some backstory as we go through. But I like that this one just kind of dove you in. You know, get a tiny bit of dialogue, and then boom, you're making decisions about, you know, hiding and attacking and which paths you want to take and all that kind of stuff. So I'm kind of intrigued. I kind of want to see. This is just like an easy read, easy thing to kind of follow. Again, you know, I don't have to look at the screen if I'm tired at the end of the day. I've been using my computer or, you know, whatever all day. I can just kick back and enjoy an accessible story, or some accessible stories, because there are several to find in this app. So I hope you guys enjoyed the video. Give it a like if you did. You can follow me on Twitter at BGFH79, Blue Sky at Illegally Cited, twitch.tv/illegally cited, illegally-cited.com, and of course right here on YouTube. Until next time, I will chat with everybody again later.